Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lucy, and you are here watching episode 3 of a series about bipolar illness. Okay, I left off. If you want to go back and pick up on some of the other videos, I left off in Missouri, and I said that I was going to move to Louisiana to be with my parents. I felt like I made a bad mistake when I moved to Missouri. I was falling into a deep depression. The doctor there had given me Valium, and Valium alone, not an antidepressant, is a depressant. So I was feeling worse and worse. So I went to a good friend of mine. I was at a good friend of mine's from high school, but I went to a lady that had lived next door to me in Missouri because my mother said, please go to Elaine's house. Go to Elaine's and we're going to get you a ticket to Northwest Louisiana as soon as we can get you out of there. And we'll fly you out of Springfield. And I think I flew Southwestern or something. But prior to this, my mom was on the phone and she said, you need to talk to your daddy. And so I got on the phone with my dad, and I was feeling horrible because my dad always tries to save me from my own self. And my daddy goes, you got to come home, baby. And I started crying, and he said, it's my heart. Something's wrong with my heart. And I started crying even worse. And that puts so much fear into me. Here I'm thinking that my father has got something wrong with his heart, and so the whole time it took me like 3 days to get out of Missouri to get to Louisiana. And when I get off the plane, I'm shocked to see my dad standing there because I'm thinking he's so ill, the way he talked to me on the phone, and he's standing there. And I said, Daddy, and I ran and hugged him, put my head on his right into his heart. And I said, when you were on the phone, you said your heart, you were sick and you needed me to be home. And he said, yeah, sure did. And it worked. And I'm thinking, what is he talking about? And he said, I had a broken heart, baby. I had a broken heart. And I was coming home anyways. But it was, as you hear me talk about my life, you will see how my father used to like dangle a carrot in front of my face, like I was a little horsey or a little pony, to get me to do whatever he wanted. He always got his way. And I remember one time I was talking to the psychiatrist that I have now. I said, I think, and he knows my dad. I said, I kind of think my dad's a narcissist. And he said, no, but I guarantee you, he was a very successful man and he did have some issues. But I don't think that he was a narcissist. He was very controlling, and I think you were raised in a very unhealthy environment. You've got environmental issues as well as your genetic issues that caused your bipolar illness, ADHD, oh, isn't that wonderful? Post-traumatic stress disorder, which I'm not going to get into on this video because I'm going to have to put trigger warnings all over this, because what happened to me when I was 21 years old should have never happened to me or any other woman. So I get back to Louisiana. I have now been in Louisiana since 1977. So I've been here a long, long time. So I come here and I'm 18 years old. I know nobody here. So my parents are driving us out to their house, and my dad is being silly and saying, there's our house. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. I mean, it was a pathetic looking house. So finally we get to his house, and I'm in shock because this house was one of the nicest houses we've ever lived in our lives. But my dad had finally become very, very successful in his career, and I was happy that he had the house that he'd bought the house of my mother's dreams for her. So, like I said, here I am in a town that I know nobody, and that's a horrible thing to be in, or a horrible situation to be in. So I thought, well, maybe if I get a job as soon as possible, I can make new friends. And my dad said, no, I want you to go to college first. And I thought, no, I don't want to go to college just yet. I just want to work. And of course, I go to work at Kmart's. Sure did. And I really enjoyed everybody there. And I became a supervisor real quickly. And then I remember that I was working in the back of the store, and my supervisor said, there's going to be a real nice dance tonight at the mall. Why don't you come? I think you'd love that. And so I said, what time does it start? And I said, can I bring Vicky that worked up front? And he said, sure, bring her. I think you both would really enjoy it. And so we go, and that was when Saturday Night Live was real big. And let me see. No, that's when Grease was big. Saturday Night Live didn't come around to, I think, Grease was big in 78, and then maybe 79. I don't know. But we were dancing, having a good time, and I met this guy. And I hadn't dated anybody in town. In these Twin Cities, I mean, it's so huge. Population 150 on both sides. And so I started dancing with this guy. And I got his first name, didn't get his last name, knew nothing about him, didn't give him my phone number. All I told him is I worked at the Kmart's on East 70th Street. That's all I told him. That's it. And thought I'd never see this guy again. And went on my merry way. Well, I guess this guy had different plans. So then, since I was supervisor, I had an area that I took care of. I was in the back of the store, and I was in the domestics area, and I was working with this other girl, and we was pricing things down and doing blue light specials and this, that, and the other. And she said that she had to go to the restroom, and so I was looking down, and all of a sudden I see these boots. And then I started looking up this guy's legs, because this guy is 6'2", and it was that guy that I met at the party 2 weeks prior. And I said, you're that guy. You're that guy I met at that party. And I said, how did you even find me? And he says, well, your boss is my Sunday school teacher. And I said, oh, really? I said, I said, that's really interesting, because I said, I knew nothing of that party. And I said, he came to me and told me to go. And I said, and there was only like 40 people at it. It's really kind of funny that you and I just kind of bumped into each other and ended up dancing the night away and having a good time. He goes, I wanted to ask you your name and get your phone number and everything. But I knew that even if you slipped through my hands, that I had Dan to look back on, and that he would get all that information to me. So then I said, what are you doing here? Just curious. I said, I'm on the clock. I'm working. He said, well, I've got a Christmas party coming up, and I'd really, 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 really like for you to be my date. And I said, well, I know nobody in this town, and you're the first that's asked, and I think that I will say yes and go with you so I can enjoy some festivities, and you can show me around town, and I can get to know you. So I'm going to leave this and stop right here because it's at the 10-minute mark, and you can only imagine what happened after that. Till I come back in again, I'll talk to y'all later.